Yeah, subhanAllah, if you look at Islam when it first came to the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, it came in a time of darkness, time of evil, where people were killing babies, right? Evil was widespread, corruption was everywhere, cheating, lying, stealing. Every evil imaginable existed. Polytheism being the head of them all, right? False gods, shirk, etc. And what's interesting is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in His infinite wisdom at that time doesn't reveal a verse or a line or a word to address the situation. He doesn't say, all right, listen, you gotta worship one God. He doesn't say, okay, stop drinking alcohol. He doesn't say, stop worshiping multiple gods. He doesn't say any of that. He doesn't say, don't kill babies. And subhanAllah, that's in another ayah. It says, وَإِذَا الْمَوْءُودَةُ سُئِلَتْ. And if the newborn baby asked, بِأَيِّ ذَنْبٍ قُتِلَتْ, for what crime was it murdered? SubhanAllah, this is the time. So you can try to understand the evil that existed in that era, right? And Allah in His infinite wisdom doesn't come out and stop that immediately. What does He say? The first verse, the first word that was revealed in the Quran is Iqra. It says read. And it's like, well, hang on a second. You know, we've got a problem in society. Everything's ugly. Everything's evil. People are doing terrible things. You know, everyone's so far away from the light, from the path, from the nur, from the hidayah. And you're telling me to read? It's like, well, why? So now as Muslims, we need to understand the psychology, the philosophy behind these verses. It's not just we take things at superficial level and just say, all right, well, great, Allah said Iqra. It's like, no, there's a reason to it. There's a meaning behind it. And we try to understand it as best we can, right? So if we look at the word Iqra, why? So you've got a situation. Now you apply this to your daily life, right? You look around you and you see ugliness, you see evil, you see negativity, you see a problem, whatever the case is, right? And to try to solve it, first you must have ideas, right? And so where do ideas come from? Well, obviously from your mind, but what puts them there? And this is our perception. So we can just look at something, but if we don't have something to counter it with, something to produce, to give back to society, no change will ever come. You see, our mind is like a factory. And unless you give it the correct raw materials that it needs, it's never going to produce anything that's worthwhile. If you just sit there day after day, week after week, consuming garbage and nonsense on social media, reading useless things and, understanding and digesting things that have no meaning or purpose or benefit to your life or society as a whole, then how can you ever expect your mind to cause a change of positivity? How to bring about the light and the hidayah and the nur? It won't. It can't. SubhanAllah, hidayah is from Allah, but we also have a responsibility to improve ourselves, to become better people. And we do that first by learning, by understanding, by reading, by ingesting. And we give that to our minds and we couple that with a dua for Allah to grant us the hidayah and the ability and the hikmah and the wisdom. And then we try to come out with ideas and put them to life, give them life in society to try to bring about that positive change. But without reading, without first understanding your surroundings, without first understanding the situation, without first understanding your abilities and your limitations, how can you ever expect to grow? Why would you think your mind is just going to come up magically and say, all right, here's a brilliant idea, when you never trained it, you never showed it how to identify opportunity, how to understand situations, decipher them, decode them, and implement a change? SubhanAllah, so there is an infinite wisdom, really, in starting with the word Iqra. It applies across all realms of ingesting knowledge. It's not just reading. It's learning, understanding, looking, analyzing, thinking about, and then coming up with ideas as best you can and implementing according to the reality that you're in. Because subhanAllah, there is no better word that could have come about as the first word in the Quran than Iqra. May Allah make us some of the best readers, people who understand knowledge and who can apply it to bring about positive change in the ummah.